Now, the last time we have seen that we have properly rendered this HTML page as a test. So I'm going to minimize that for now. Let me also shut the integrated terminal and I will delete this. Now I want to show you a new perspective or a new concept in writing HTML pages. If you write applications in Django, most probably that you're going to write a lot of HTML pages. And if the different pages have common elements such as the header, the footer, maybe a navigation bar, navigation menu, it's going to be very hectic if you're going to duplicate the code in all of the pages, right? First of all, it's not practical. Second of all, it's not the smartest way to do things. So Django actually allows you to create what we call the base layout. Now, the base layout is simply a template that serves as a common structure for other templates to build upon. So say here, for example, we have a home page, we have the product confirm delete page, product form and product list, but also we have a layout.html page. And basically it's going to contain all of the elements that are consistent across all of the other pages. So for example, we will have a header, we will have a footer, we will have a navigation bar, and so on. So we're going to create this base layout and we're going to extend that base layout in other pages. And in our base layout, we'll have common structure and placeholders called blocks. Those blocks are placeholder for whatever being dynamically generated in each page. So let's say that we want the title for a certain page, that's the home page for instance, and we have a different page for the product form. Instead of writing different titles, we're going to simply insert that in a block form, and based on the title that you're going to give, that's going to be auto-generated and render whatever the page title is going to be. And how we will do that? Simply by extending that base layout in the other pages. So we will have in home, product confirm delete, product form, and product list. In all of those pages, we're going to extend the layout. First of all, I'm not going to do anything strange in that layout.html. That's going to be a simple HTML page where I'm going to use Bootstrap 5 and jQuery for styling. So for the title, I'm going to call that inventory app. But now be careful, in those title HTML tags, we will need to have those Django template block tags inside curly braces with the ampersand, of course. And we will have here block, and that's going to be title. And of course, do not forget to close the block tags with the ampersand and curly braces, and we'll type here end block. Next, I want to insert here that bootstrap link from CDN, so let me show you that. So from this website here, jsdeliver.com package npm bootstrap, I want to just take that link. So this one here is for JavaScript, and that one is for your link. So if you will copy that, that's going to copy only, if you will copy the URL, you're going to copy the URL only. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the link and I'm going to paste it here. All right, and I'm going to leave also the link to the JS Deliver for the CDN because we're going to use the same thing for JavaScript. Right, so that's as far as the Bootstrap CSS from our CDN page. By the way, I might use some styling, but we're going to do that later. But for now, in the body, I want to create a navigation bar. This navigation bar will have a class of navbar, and these are Bootstrap classes, by the way. So navbar class with navbar hyphen expand. So I need a large expandable navigation bar. Also, I needed dark, so that's going to be dark nav bar hyphen dark. Also, I need a fixed top for that navigation bar. So that's another class, by the way, which is called fixed hyphen top. All right, and that has created the navigation bar with all of the needed classes. Inside the navigation bar, I need a link or an anchor. That's going to be the link for the home page. We're going to write simply inventory app. If you remember in the demo, when you will click it, it will not do anything. Simply, it will take you to the home page. Right, so that's going also to take a class, and I'm going to say here a.navbar hyphen brand, right? That's going to have a horizontal reference in double curly braces or in curly braces only and double ampersand. And inside here, that's going to be the URL for the home page. And simply, I'm going to type here inventory app. All right, so this is my anchor, my link. Now I need a button. This button simply is going to be a toggler button, right? It's going to toggle the navigation bar on smaller screens. If you're going to resize your screen to be small, when you will click on the top, it's going to open or expand the menu to you. So this is the usefulness of this button. This button is going to have a class of navbar toggler. Also, it's going to have a type of button. The data toggle is going to be set to collapse. Also, I need data target, and that's going to take me to the navigation bar. And this data target has, of course, this ID selector navbar nav. When you will click the button, is going to show or hide that target element. The next attribute that I want is something called aria-controls, and that's going to be set to navbar nav. This area control set to navbar simply improves accessibility. Okay, so this is simply for the button, so you will have more control when you will click on the button to show or hide the element with that ID navbar. The next attribute also helps with accessibility, and that's called aria expanded. And I'm going to set it to false. And this simply indicates the current state of the collapsible content. By default, we're going to set it to false because we don't want it to be open, right? When you will navigate to your website, you don't want that button to be opened. You don't want it to be expanded, I mean. He can use the button to navigation bar. And in that case, the aria expanded is going to transform from false to true. And the last attribute is aria label. And the aria label, I'm going to set it to toggle navigation. And the name explains the function, of course. This basically provides an accessible label for the button. And in that button, I will need an icon. This icon, I'm going to just put it in a span. This span is going to take a bootstrap class. So span with this class called navbar toggler icon. Next, I want a div with also a class. So it's going to be collapse.navbar collapse, right? And that's going to be a collapsible navbar content. But also I want to create an ID. So the ID here is going to be navbar nav, right? The one that we have actually set it here. So this is the navbar nav ID in that div. Inside the div, I will have the items container. So that's going to be in a form of unordered list with a class of navbar nav. And then I'm going to list all of the navbar items. So I'm going to have a list with a class called nav item. So that first list is going to have the add product link. And for that, I will need the anchor with the class nav link. And the link for that is going to be the product create link. And let me show you in the URLs here. That product create, we will need it to put inside our layout. So now you see the idea. Whenever you will click on add product, that's going to take you to that URL here, the product create URL, right? And I will need another one, and that's going to be for showing products, right? So basically that's going to be the product list, right? So we'll copy that, and let me just put it instead of that product create. Okay, I'll just put some spaces. All right, that's better. And instead of add product, I'm going to type show products. And that's basically everything we need to do for the items. That's an unordered list that has two different list items, each one that's going to take you to a different URL, one to add the product and the other one to show all of the products. And after the navigation bar, we will need that container, right? So I'm going to create another div with container class. And in that div, we're going to dynamically or define a content block that can be overridden in the child template. So based on each child template, we're going to dynamically generate everything inside that div. So as you guessed it, we're going to use the block here, and the block, I'm going to change the name for block name. Simply, that's going to be content. And we don't need for the end block to write the same thing. So we can leave it like that. And that's basically everything for our layout. Just before I forget, we will need two more links, one for the jQuery and another one for the JavaScript, the CDN JavaScript actually. So that's going to be above the closing tag of the body. So you can visit releases.jquery.com. You want to click on that link, slim minified. All right, so click here and you're going to copy that. Copy and just paste it in here. And we need the other one from the bootstrap. So we have above for the CSS, and we need that one for JavaScript. So I'm going to copy that as well and paste it here. Until now, we don't have anything. So if you will click here, you have a white page because the home is empty. It's true that we have written the layout, but we haven't extended anything yet to other pages. So that's what we're going to do now. The first thing that you want to do is to extend the base layout template from your env app directory. To do that, you're going, of course, to type extends. So extending here the file itself, layout.html, but you need to provide the full path. So you will type env app / and the name of the file, that's layout.html. So that's the first thing that you want to do. And exactly the same thing is going to be across all of other files. For home.html, I want to create a title. I'm not going to type simply a title like that. No. We don't need this. We need a block title. So I need a block with, again, I don't need in the end block, I don't need to write that. So we can keep it like this. And I need title, right? So that's going to be title. And here in the middle, I will type home. So based on each page, the title is going to, change, right? And that's going to take exactly the styles and the basic layout from your layout.html, right? So that's as far as the title. Let me actually do like this. And I will minimize this a little bit. Maybe you can squeeze that more, close the bar here. And let's refresh, and we have an error. There is an error somewhere. URL product create. Right, I missed the single quotes. I apologize for that, guys. So yeah, you need to put this in single quotes. The product list also. And yeah, let me shut all of the other links. And you can see here that we have home. Awesome. Let's get back to home page. After the title, I need the content. So I also will need a content block, right? So that's going to be content here. Then inside that content block, I will need a div with Jumbotron class. Again, these are bootstrap classes. So yeah, Jumbotron.textCenter. Then I will have h1 with class display4. Then I will say here something like, welcome to the inventory management system. Then I will have a paragraph with lead class. Then in that paragraph, I will say something like, manage your products efficiently and effectively. Right? Something like that. And after that paragraph, I'm going to add a horizontal rule with some margin to separate the content. So that's going to be a bootstrap class, of course. So hr.my-4. If you will refresh, you can see here, this is with 4 pixels margin. I will have also a paragraph, and we'll say something, use the navigation bar to add, view, update, or delete products. Right, so these are the 4 components of our CRUD router application or website. Right, next I want to create a button, but not button, it's going to be a link. It's actually a button hidden inside the link, if you will. Just to view all the products, to list all the products. So we're going to have another link, another anchor with bootstrap class that's going to be btn, btn primary, and btn large. The link to that is going to take me to the product list URL, right? And if we'll click here, it took us to inventory app. Right, so let's get back. And again, the title has changed to home. Awesome. Inside here, I'm going to say view products, save that, refresh. Okay, that's better. Right, I'm going to give also to that link a role attribute. So that's going to be a button, right? We want basically to have this primary button that will link to the product list page. All right, guys, so this is simply our home page. Let me go quickly and write the styling in the layout page. This is the only styling that I want to write manually. So yeah, everything works except that we haven't written the other pages yet. So let's go to product form. We're going to extend, of course, the base layout, and then I will have a title block. So maybe I can go to the home page and copy those two lines. Copy that. Let's get back to product form. Let's paste that in. I will need also end block. So all right, awesome. And inside the content, I will have h1 tag with text center class. So text center. And here I will say product form. This is going to be our form. We have studied forms together, and it's an absolute pleasure to write forms in Django, to be honest. I personally love it. Now, after that h1 tag, I need a form. The form will have a class of Jumbotron. Again, this is a bootstrap class. So form.jumbotron. We don't need action, we need a method, of course. And the method is going to be naturally a post method. And as we have learned, the first thing you need to include in your form is the CSRF token. So we're going to include the CSRF token. The next thing is the form itself. So we want to render the form fields with the Django's form rendering. So that's going to be form like that, not like this, just form, and that's double curly braces. And of course, after the form, we'll have a submit button. So button with type submit. So I can choose it here, and you can say save product. So after you will enter everything in the form, you will simply save the product. I forgot to give that button bootstrap class. So that's going to have simple bootstrap classes. That's going to be btn, btn-success, and btn block. All right, guys, and this is simply our product form. Now let's go ahead and check that out. If I will click on add product, we have got an error. Get create not found with request get create is not a valid view function or pattern. That should render the page, right? So let's go ahead and check out in our views.py file, and let's see. Oh, I see the problem. That's my bad. I apologize for that, guys. Of course, this is a render method and not redirect. We redirect only to the names. We are rendering with different arguments, the HTTP request method, the template's name, and the context. So yeah, that's going to be render, of course. Right, so let's get back here and let's click on add product, and now we have our product form. Awesome. All right, but I feel that there is something wrong in the layout. So let's check out the layout together. So first of all, let me check. Okay, so I see that I haven't actually had the dot for the table th, right? But I think that's the difference in the Bootstrap version. So I'm going to change the Bootstrap version from 5.3.3 to 4.5.2, 4.5.2. Control S to save. Let's refresh the page, and now we have different layout, and this layout actually is much better. So simply you're going to do the same thing as I've showed you before. Simply you're going to change the version from 5.3.3 to 4.5.2, because all of the classes that I've written are only compatible with 4.5.2. Right, so yeah, we have everything now, guys. If you will click on inventory app, you're going to get back to the app. View products, of course, you don't have anything. Let's try to add a product. Let's add a shirt. Let's add, let's say S123, for example. For the price, let's make it 20. Quantity, let's make it 1. Supplier, let's say anything, ABC, right? Save product. And we have the list. Of course, we haven't written the list yet. If we don't have an error, that means that everything is okay and waiting for us to write the product list page. So let's actually go ahead and do that. Let's go to the product list. And again, I will need a content block. So block here, content. I prefer to delete this, but you can keep it if you want. It's just a matter of habit. H1 tag with class of text center. And we'll type here products, right? Let's refresh the page and we have products. Now I need a table. That table will have different classes. The first class is table. The second class is table bordered. So table hyphen bordered. And another one's going to be table stripped. So table hyphen stripped. This is a simple table with those bootstrap classes for the borders and stripped rows. I need a table head now with a class of thead dark. So we're going to keep the theme exactly the same. We're going to keep the headers dark as in the navigation bar. So I'm going to have thead with class thead hyphen dark. And inside the table header, I will have a table row. So tr, so thead, and we'll say here product ID. And I will need 6 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here that's going to be the name. Here we will have our SKU. Here we're going to have the price. Also, I want quantity. And the supplier. And finally, I want actions. Right, so let's refresh that and we have here our table header. That's the end of the table row and the table header. Now I need table body. So for the T body, I will have here to loop through the products passed to the template. So that's going to be a simple for loop, right? So we'll say for product in products, and I'm going to just trap that here in curly braces and also ampersand. And be careful about the spaces, guys. That's very, very important. So for product in products, I want to begin a table row for each product. And inside the table row, I will display all of the fields. And that's going to be in a TD tag or table data tag. And here simply we're going to plug everything inside double curly braces. So we'll need the product underscore ID. So product ID. That's the first one. You just make like that. All right. You can do like this. And the second field is the name. Next, we have the SKU. We have the price. We have the quantity. We have the supplier. Right, as far as the last one, that's going to be for the actions, right? It's going to be a little bit different from the other table data items. So we'll need a link, an anchor, and that's going to take me to the product update view. So that's going to be the URL that's taking me to the product update view, right? Let's just minimize this a little bit or making like that. Okay. So this is the product update view, and here I'm going to simply type the product because I will need that product by ID, right? I want to target that product by its own ID, its own unique identifier. So that's going to be product.product ID. And here simply I'm going to type update, right? So maybe we can refresh, and we have an error because I haven't closed the for loop. So for the for loop, you will need, of course, to end that with that curly braces ampersand, and here you will do end for, right? You refresh again and we have everything. So this is the product that we have added, guys, right? Product ID number 1, the name is shirt, SKU, price, quantity, supplier, and actions. You can update and you can delete. So let's work on the delete part. As far as the delete, but before the delete, let's give that a class. So let's give that a class of btn, just to change that link to a button, right? We are manipulating using those bootstrap classes. Yeah, so that's danger. That's going to be red with the update, right? So let's check out. Okay, we have red one. However, I prefer the danger button to be for the delete. So I might change that to warning, right? So let's do warning here. That makes more sense, right? Yeah. The update is going to be with yellow and the delete button is going to be with red. So I'm going exactly to copy the same thing here. And here I'm going to call that delete, right? And here the button is going to be danger. And instead of product update, that's going to be product delete. And that's basically it, guys. This is our products list HTML page, right? So let's refresh and we have two buttons, update and delete. If you prefer to center everything, you can add the text center. You can add that class to your table here. So you can take that and you can do like this. You can add that here. You can refresh and you have everything centered, right? If you prefer. All right, so we have actually written the product list, the product form, the layout, of course, that was the first one, the home page. The only thing that's remaining for us is the product confirm delete. So the first thing that I want is a title. So I'm going to have a title block. So that's going to be a title. All right, and you can say here delete product. That's as far as the title. Also, I want the content block. So I'm going to have another block with content here, right? And inside the content, I will have h1 tag with text center class. And we'll type something like, are you sure you want to delete this product? Then I will have a form with a post method, right? And we don't need actions. Just I will need a class that's going to be text center. Inside that form, of course, the first thing we need to do is the CSRF. So that's the first thing. Then I will have a button and a link. The button is for the yes, because it's going to have a submit type. And the link, if you will click on the cancel link, that's going to take you to the products list. This is basically our page, just a simple form with yes or no. So let's have our button with the submit type. And also it's going to take class of btn danger. And here you will type yes. Also, I will need a link. This link is going to have two classes, btn and btn secondary, right? That's going to direct us to the products list view. Curly braces in double ampersand. Inside here, we'll have URL with the product list. If I'm not mistaken, that's the product list, right? Let's take a look to the views, or the URLs rather. Yeah, the product list. And here I will simply say cancel. And this was the last break in our application building, guys. So let me just refresh the page. Let's click on update. And I think we have the same mistake. Let's go to views. Let's go to the update. Right? And that's of course render, not redirect. I deeply apologize for that, guys. So here is okay, is proper. So let's do like that. And we have here our product form. Let's go to inventory app again, view product. So we have this product, update, and now it's working. We can update. If you notice here, that's the product ID number 1, right? And let's do, for instance, pants. Now, if you will click on save product, you will immediately get this warning, please fill out this field. So we will need to do that. Let's say P123, that's going to be $50, for example. Quantity, let's do 10. And we have XYZ Inc. Save product. Now we have different product with the same ID number. Let's try to delete that. Now, perfect, we are redirected to that page. Are you sure you want to delete this product? If we'll click on cancel, we'll get back to our page here. And if we will delete again, if we'll say yes this time, the product is deleted from our products list. So let's add another product. Let's say shoes. Let's say SH456, price $30, quantity 2, and the supplier Foo Bar, right? Save product, and we have product ID 2 because the first one was the one that we have actually deleted from our database, right? You can update, right? You can show products, you can get back to your home page, you can add another product, and so on. Alright guys, so this is our fully functional website where you can add your products, update them, delete them, and you can improve upon this by adding more functionalities if you want. And let me show you the responsiveness of the web page. If we'll click here, well, actually nothing happens. Let's check that out. So we have for the styling for Bootstrap 4.5.2, and I think I haven't changed down here below for the JavaScript. Right, so that also should be compatible 4.5.2. Right, now let's go ahead and try. Click OK. Now the navigation bar is expandable. The add product and show products buttons that were hidden, now they are shown and they are fully functional. If you will click on show products, for example, it's working. Again, if you will click on add product, also the add product form is working. And let me show you another interesting thing. Let's go to the inventory. Let me go to the DevTools, and let me show you. If I will click here, take a look that the state changes. The state of that button changes from false to true. Focus on that area expanded. It's going to change from true to false. And of course, the other classes, the collapse and the collapse show class, the navbar toggler and the nav collapse and collapse show. They all change. Congratulations guys, we have reached the last stop of our Django course journey, and what an adventure it has been. From the basics to building a full-fledged inventory management system, you have all done an amazing job. Your hard work and dedication have truly paid off. And before leaving, I want to give a huge shout out to NetNinja for letting me host this course on their awesome channel. Keep exploring, keep coding, and remember, this is just the beginning. I can't wait to see what you'll all create next. Once again, thank you so much guys for watching, happy coding, and the best of luck for each and every one of you.